Hello and welcome. This is more lost media still yet to be uncovered. Full Metal Sheen. Planet Sheen was a 2010 Nickelodeon show and a spin-off of Jimmy Neutron. The show only lasted for one season, however, in between airings of the show on Nicktoons Network were a series of animated shorts titled Full Metal Sheen. No footage of these segments have been found, but eyewitnesses say they depict Sheen leading troops to Iwo Jima, and as the shorts progressed, he became more and more traumatized by his actions. The shorts only aired for 1 week in 2011 and were never aired again. As of now, the search has gone cold, meaning Full Metal Sheen is still lost.
Yo, who the f*** is MattCMG?
Hey paisanos, it me, MattCMG, and today let's talk about lost media. If you've been on the internet in pretty much any capacity in the past few years, chances are you're pretty familiar with what lost media actually is, but even if you aren't, you still probably are. You know what I mean? Lost media, as the name suggests, is a piece of media that has been lost, meaning that it exists, but there is currently no way to access it, legal or otherwise. Some of these have been pretty high profile and have actually been found, like The Crack Man, Crybaby Lane, episodes of Sesame Street, among a bunch of other things. But there are also the more obscure things that are yet to be found, if they even exist at all, like Saki Sanobashi or the original Jeff the Killer image. Chances are, if you've got a favorite piece of media, there is probably a piece of lost media associated with it. In an old video, I talked about the lost media surrounding Avatar, and in that video I went on a tirade about a particular Avatar Flash game that I used to play but can no longer find. This was The Last Airbender Candy Quest, and I consider it to be a fond memory of my childhood that is completely lost and I can no longer access. But that also brought something to my attention. What other things from my childhood could now be considered lost media? So today we'll be answering just that. We'll be going through some of the things that I grew up with that could now be considered lost media, going over what I can remember about them, and possibly helping to uncover them. Probably not that last part because I'm fucking stupid, but let's yeah, sure. So smash that motherfucking like button or I will turn your life into lost media. And let's get into my personal lost media. Personal. We're getting gay. Right off the bat, let's talk about video games. You might even say that my life is like a video game. This first one is actually somewhat embarrassing, but when I was a little kid, I really fucked with Webkins, bro. I know, that was a girl's game, and looking back on it, kinda gay of me. But listen, right, when you're 6 or 7 years old, I think we're all a little bit gay, right? What are we talking about? You know, for a while, Toys to Life games were the big hot thing in the market, right? But one that I have never seen anybody talk about, despite being a bit of a precursor to the genre, was Webkins. These were physical stuffed animal toys that you could go out and buy in stores, but that came with a code to use in the online game, where you would take your physical pet into the digital world and give it a name, a personality, and play games with it. Now, you might be thinking right now, Matt, you're fucking stupid and gay, because I, as the Webkins expert, know that the original game is still playable and I play it every single day. And you were correct about all of those things. The thing about this that it's lost media isn't the game itself, but rather my original account.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
You know, I could not for the life of me tell you what my original login info was, so I cannot go back and see what animals I had, even if I wanted to, especially since I don't have many of the physical toys anymore, because I'm a grown-ass fucking man. And that's assuming that they even save accounts that have been inactive for 15 plus years. Actually, I might even have one of the toys back here. Hold up. Pause. I had the toy. I have a little chihuahua. It's your boy. Put him on the shoulder like Pikachu. Oh, yeah. There you go. Get up there, you fucker. Stay. The same can be said about pretty much any old MMO that I used to play back in the day, where my original accounts are probably long gone. Alright, alright, fucker. My old RuneScape account was definitely deleted because I actually happened to remember the login info for that, and I know that it's gone. And games like Fusion Fall and Club Penguin were completely discontinued, so those accounts are completely gone as well. And there are even some games out there that I'm even questioning if they were even real in the first place. More on that later. While a lot of these games have been archived and brought back online by dedicated fans, those original save files will forever be gone, so I will never be able to look back on what was on them, and I guess neither will you. For that matter, you fucking stupid fucking dolt. Fuck you. Why am I being mean to you? I don't know. I'm just an asshole, I think. I realize that personal save files are kind of stretch the definition of what lost media is, but it's my video, so fuck you. Suck my balls and choke on it. But anyways, back to that other thing I was hinting at earlier. I remember playing a Spyro the Dragon MMO Flash game back in the day, and now I'm not sure if it was even real.
The bugs are back.
The game was a 2D side-scroller type thing similar to MapleStory, but with your own Dragon OC in the Legend of Spyro art style. And there was a small hub world that you would walk around in, and you would be able to play different minigames and shit like that. In a similar vein, there are tons of Flash games out there that are probably completely lost to time. While dedicated fans have been able to archive them and preserve these games through things like Flashpoint or Newgrounds finding some kind of workaround for the discontinuation of Adobe Flash, there's no way that everything was perfectly archived, right? So this part of the video goes out to all of the forgotten Flash games out there. I could not give you a specific one, aside from the Avatar one, but sure, yeah. Moving away from games, let's talk about funny internet videos. Like I've talked about in previous videos, I've always been a big fan of YouTube since I was a kid, so of course, there were a ton of videos that I remember watching as a kid that are no longer around. When I was about 12, I got really interested in zombies, and somehow convinced myself that the zombie apocalypse was somehow actually possible. Bear with me here. So I would naturally look up how to survive the zombie apocalypse. In the early 2010s, this was a very niche genre of video, so there weren't very many of them at the time, but then The Walking Dead got really popular and started flooding the search results with all that other Walking Dead adjacent shit, so the genre got very oversaturated, and a lot of the old stuff was just buried in a lot of the new shit. The zombie apocalypse video genre, if you will, has a lot of classics in my opinion, but there's also one that completely eludes me. So the only thing I can remember about this video is that it starts with a guy wearing a messenger bag. I call it a satchel. Indiana Jones wears one, and he begins the video with a line somewhere along the lines of, the zombie apocalypse, a wondrous sight, like boobs or rockets. And then at some point he talks about how every town has a secret zombie alarm that he pretends to hack into a telephone pole while like a fucking stock sound effect plays in the background. That's about all I can recall about this video, but for whatever reason, it's just not around anymore and I cannot find it for the life of me. Obvious answer is that the original uploader probably deleted it or privated it for whatever reason, or maybe their channel got deleted or something, but it's also very possible that this video is just still floating around YouTube somehow that I just haven't been able to find. Because let's be honest, do you really think I'm gonna click through every single video with this exact title? Go fuck yourself. We're not doing that. But moving on, like any kid who grew up in the 2010s, I absolutely loved Minecraft.
I fucking love Minecraft!
Oh, yes.
And like any other 12-year-old, I also enjoyed swearing and screaming. So of course, I naturally found myself drawn to Minecraft rage videos, yet another very specific genre. There are a million of these fucking things, but unlike the zombie video that I just talked about, I actually had the foresight to save these in some way. You know, I used to save a lot of these in my favorites playlist back in the day, and would come back to them every so often, but at a certain point I realized that some of them were just kind of like leaving the playlist or getting removed. At the time, I did not have the foresight to actually download these videos, but what can I say? I am fucking dumb. However, there are 3 videos that come to mind of the Minecraft rage genre. The first was definitely the most scuffed of the 3, where it consisted of somebody building a tower in Minecraft while his friend was yelling in the background. Whoever was recording the video didn't record their own mic audio, so all you could hear was this one-sided conversation of the other guy getting really mad at a bunch of shit that we could not see on screen. But from what I can discern, guy got killed by zombies and lost all of his items, and while trying to get them back, he just kept getting killed over and over again. My favorite part of the video is that at a certain point he just screams, "Fuck you, zombie piece of fuck! Kill me!" And then he just starts going on an unintelligible rant about how much he loves and hates Minecraft at the same time. It's fucking hilarious. Like, I quote that "fuck you, zombie piece of fuck" line all the time. It's so stupid. Nobody else gets the reference. I'm the only person who gets it, but I absolutely love it. I would love to see that original video again. The next Minecraft rage video that I can remember was a bit of a longer one, around 15 minutes or so, that consisted of a kid playing Minecraft with his friends while his younger brother berated him in the background. You know, the kid recording is just kind of shooting the shit with his pals while he plays Minecraft, and the brother is ranting in a high-pitched squeaker kid voice that, "You're playing an 8-bit game? Why aren't you playing a good game like Modern Warfare 2? And at some point he tells him to kill himself in a very like roundabout way. It's actually kind of fucked now that I think about it. It's very much like not something you want to be uploaded to the internet forever, so I can kind of see why this was taken down. Still very funny. And the last Minecraft video was definitely the fakest, but it involved, as you would expect, a child screaming. The video begins with the kid recording introducing the video with, "Guys, there's a kid raging on my server," which already doesn't make any fucking sense. Minecraft on PC did not have voice chat, and Discord was not a thing yet, so he obviously knew this kid beforehand and had it added on Skype or something like that. There is no way you just randomly met a kid in a voice call on Minecraft back in the day. That's not how it worked. Anyways, he starts trolling the kid in creative mode, griefing him and all that fun shit, and at a certain point he opens up an ender portal and takes the kid to the end. The thing that sticks in my mind, and is the primary reason that I could even remember this video at all, was that the squeaker kid refers to the Enderman as, quote, "black frickin' peepees." They were black. He's black! I shouldn't have to explain why that's so fucking funny. Honestly, I feel like my description of it might actually be funnier than the video itself, low-key. Like, if anybody remembers this video or has access to them, please send that shit my way because I would love to watch these videos again. On the topic of internet videos, there are also countless AMVs out there that are likely completely lost to time due to copyright takedowns. While many of the more iconic ones, like, you know, fucking DBZ, Naruto, Linkin Park AMVs, have been preserved in some way or in one way or another, these things are a lot harder to keep up these days because of YouTube's copyright policies, right? This is the nature of the site now. AMVs, pretty fucking great. Around 2014, 2015-ish, I got really into the Pokemon anime again, specifically the XY series. One of the main draws to this series was the potential romance between Ash and Serena, a ship known as Amore shipping. Of course, being an autistic as fuck teenager, I stumbled across Amore shipping AMVs, and there is one in particular that I really liked but is no longer around. This was an AMV set to the song Fallen Angel by 3 Days Grace, and from what I can recall, was really well edited. I mean, the song choice alone kind of already set it apart from a lot of other AMVs out there where they were often set to like these like girly pop songs. But then you got like fucking literally 3 Days Grace, fucking kind of a little bit edgy, kind of alt-rocky. It doesn't really fit the shipping vibe of an AMV, but you know. But the thing that really made it for me though was that whoever edited this thing decided to add in voice clips of the characters in between like, you know, verses in the song, and it really just kind of, you know, made the song feel a lot more personal to the characters. You know what I mean? Like this video almost single-handedly influenced the way I would edit my AMVs and my retrospectives all these years later, and I would absolutely love to see this video again. Because other AMVs out there don't quite do it for me, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna do, here's my Counting Stars AMV, here's my Every Time We Touch OTP Goku Vegeta AMV. Like, those don't quite do it for me, but the 3 Days Grace one gets me. I don't know why. Imagine a mosh pit to the #1 Don't Kill Yourself song. It's not too late, it's never too late. Fucking mosh pit. I could easily fill the rest of this video with random memes that I've seen over the years and just didn't have the foresight to save, but I think that the greatest source of lost memes was probably Vine. Like I discussed in a way old video, Vine was the absolute shit and it was probably the place for quick funny ha-has. However, Vine was closed in 2016, and with it went any Vines that weren't already archived somewhere else. A lot of these surviving relics can often be found in a lot of the Vine compilations out there, but these Vine compilations tend to only include like the same 50 to 100 Vines over and over again, serving only as a microcosm of what the site truly was. As somebody who used the app during its heyday, I can tell you that there is so much good shit out there that is just straight up gone now. However, there's one Vine in particular that has lived in my head rent-free for all of these years, and I am still unable to find, right? This Vine was from the perspective of what I assume was a black individual filming in their car at a stoplight, filming a cop on a motorcycle. This person then belts out, "Oh, Mr. Policeman on a motorcycle," and then start growling at him like, "Rah, rah, rah." Vine was just full of good shit like this that is just now lost to time, and I feel like there needs to be some sort of Vine restoration effort of some kind. But I know Elon Musk's too much of a fucking pussy-ass coward to bring back Vine. He owns Twitter now. You could bring back Vine at any moment, but no. Sure, yeah. And hey, TikTok might become lost media pretty soon, so, you know, maybe save your favorite TikToks just in case, right? Shifting from short-form content to long-form content, let's talk about podcasts for a second.
Wait, don't go in there. He's doing his podcast.
Nowadays, it seems like everybody and their mother has a podcast, but believe it or not, there was a time before this genre was oversaturated. Enter my favorite podcast, Sleepycast. In 2014, a group of well-known Newgrounds animators, specifically OniNG, Psychic Pebbles, Stamper TV, Johnny Utah, and a few others, came together to start a collective known as Sleepy Cabin, and their longest-running project was the Sleepy Cabin Podcast, otherwise known as Sleepycast. This was a comedy podcast where the gang would just shoot the shit for an hour or two, and occasionally they'd bring guests onto the show. There's also a subgenre of the podcast that weren't numbered episodes, but they're just like very specific episodes called Lost Episodes. We're not talking about those, but here's where things start to get interesting with the guests, right? In the season 2 premiere of Sleepycast, where JonTron was a guest, the guys make a brief mention of having recorded another episode with John prior to this, but didn't release it because apparently the jokes were just a bit too off color.
No, it was just, well, we just got to talking, it was a little dark, and
Yeah. So that's the answer. So stop asking, you little fucking, you know what?
Additionally, there was mention outside of the show that there was also an episode that they recorded with Aaron Hansen, aka Ego Raptor, but that just never ended up getting released either. In hindsight, it is kind of weird that despite all of the Sleepy Cabin crew being friends with Aaron and frequently mentioning him on the show, that they've never actually had him on an episode. It's even weirder that apparently their original JonTron episode was too raunchy, yet they still had fucking Shadman on multiple times. I mean, this was a podcast where they would constantly say slurs and some of the most heinous shit imaginable, even by 2014 standards, so I genuinely wonder what was so bad that they just couldn't air it. While the Sleepy Cabin crew have all gone their separate ways, and the spirit of the show lives on through stuff like Oni Plays, I do hope that Rice Pirate Maker, anybody else who might have these episodes on a hard drive somewhere, can release them someday. Because I would genuinely love to hear them as a massive fan of the show who re-listens to it all the fucking time.
Oh, he's probably he gay or something? He gay?
So that has been some of the lost media from my formative years, and this probably only scratches the surface, since there was probably a ton of other still lost shit that is just completely escaping my memory right now. It's completely hidden away in the recesses of my mind. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. You know, I could go on and on about all of the memes that I've seen over the years and have forgotten to save, all of the MMOs and online games that were discontinued, and even shit that I never actually indulged in but still remember somehow, right? Like, was I actually intelligent enough to be able to use the Pokemon Dream World? Absolutely not. Did I ever actually play Nicktropolis, the MMO? Definitely no. But despite having even the haziest of memories of some of these things, do I still remember them fondly? Sure. While the appeal of lost media is definitely the mystery aspect of why these things were forgotten and the need to preserve these things, at the same time, I highly doubt that most people would really give a shit about a lot of this stuff if everything were perfectly archived, right? Lost media has a bit of a way of giving a voice to the unheard, if you catch my drift, where a lot of the stuff that would have flown completely under the radar if it was readily available now has a lot of people actively caring about it and actively searching for it, when otherwise nobody would have given a shit. At the same time, though, as much as I am a huge proponent of media preservation, I also think that sometimes it's for the best that some of this stuff remains lost, because sometimes it's just best to have the memory of what was without the opportunity of that memory being ruined by experiencing it again, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about? Is that weird? Does anybody else have their nostalgia ruined by experiencing a thing again? Like, it means nothing to me now that I've experienced it as an adult again? I don't know. But maybe that's just me, which is why I want to hear from you, what you all think. In the comments down below, let me know what your favorite piece of lost media is, specifically from your childhoods. And while you're down there, smash that like button, subscribe, Patreon, all that shit. I've met CMG, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
You playing Minecraft. I like your cut, G.
At the aquarium, you can swap Nick points for a new fish, give it a new look, and a name to match. Hang out with your fish in the undersea volcano, the lost ships, and the castle ruins. Keep your fish healthy and happy by feeding it and bringing it to the aquarium to play. Visit the aquarium today, only in Nicktropolis.
Let's get some pussy tonight.